Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the G-Shock Watcher channel. My name is Matthew Hardman and I really appreciate you choosing to spend some of your time with me here today. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the news of September. As the month is getting close to wrapping up, I thought it was a good opportunity to go back and have a look at some of the news in that space. So who's wearing G-Shocks, what's coming out in the G-Shock community, and maybe some interesting things that might take your attention. We'll see what it actually is. If you enjoyed this video and others, please consider liking and subscribing. I really appreciate your support. It's just absolutely awesome, and I really appreciate everybody taking the time to drop comments and ideas and a whole range of different things. Before we get started, the watch of the day. Well, I'm not going to set the world on fire by doing this, but I did pick up something a little bit different. It wasn't a G-Shock watch. It's actually a swatch. It is the Moon Swatch. It's an Omega Speedmaster Moon Swatch. And no, all of a sudden I'm not changing all these different watches, but I did go past the swatch shop in Hong Kong and it kind of took my eye. I thought it was a kind of cool watch. I actually thought it was going to be redder, almost as red as a t-shirt, but it's orange. It's a Mission to Earth Red Lava or Lava Edition. Just something different I wanted to go and actually try out, but definitely not abandoning G-Shock by any means. Just variety is the spice of life, as I say. Anyway, let's get started with the news. First off, and I get worried about this particular one because I am concerned about the fact that tariffs and things like that might impact the purchase prices of G-Shock watches, and we're starting to see that come about in the US right now. Lucky enough, I'm not in the US, I'm in Singapore, but what we have seen is that there have been some price surges of around 10% in the G-Shock US watch catalog. So there's a number of different models that people are seeing the prices that are going up. Some models are still at the same price as before, but they're seeing some of these watches such as the GMW 5610, which has gone up in price, a couple other ones as well. So let's hope that's not a big thing that's going to happen from a worldwide perspective, and we certainly don't like watch price increases, but state of the world as it is, sometimes we see these the economics of the industry, and I'm not an economist by any means, but if tariffs start to impact different countries and certainly external manufacturers, then unfortunately it'll probably be the consumers that will actually have to take that price hike. So bad news for the US on that one. Bad news to start off with, but we've gone from bad news. Let's go to some interesting news that we also have as well. Switching over here, I'm going to talk about three main stories or three main areas which I think are kind of interesting. The first one is going to be around ring watches. We've seen the silver ring watches from last year. Well, looks like there might be more coming, so that's kind of exciting. Second area is around MIP watches, memory and pixel watches. We're starting to get some indications that MIP watches are coming through. And then the third area is some celebrities wearing G-Shock watches, which is always kind of fun. And before I do kick off on some of these three news articles, big shout out to G Central and Shockbase for all the hard work that they do. They really do some great work to be able to pull together a lot of information which helps me do these videos. And if I could show their appreciation by recommending you go to their websites, g-central.com and shockbase.org. Those two websites are absolutely fantastic when it comes to looking up G-Shock watches and the likes. So let's go ahead and take a look at the G-Shock rings first. We might see a gold-colored Casio ring watch coming to market sometime soon. And one of the fan sites, G-Shock World, has reported that there was a discovery of a gold-colored Casio listed at a European watch shop. Now, this website is in Japanese, but you probably don't need to know all the statistics, but this is what we're actually seeing. It's a gold Casio ring watch, which is coming to market. Previously, we had the silver watches. So if we go down, you've seen this watch before. This was the silver Casio ring watch. Still a very, very popular watch. Lots of people kind of like it. But we also now have a gold edition coming out as well. So that could be pretty exciting if you didn't get a silver one before. maybe there's an opportunity for you to be able to pick up a gold one when it comes out. And it'll be interesting to see how quickly these sell out based on the sales of the first one. Second thing in these ring watches which is coming out, or at least rumored to be coming out, are these nano-sized watches. And they're called Nano ring-sized G-Shock DWN56 watches. Now these are interesting because these don't necessarily look like a ring as such. I mean, they are the same size as the sort of ring watches, but what's different is if you compare the ring watch, which is a proper ring, like you can sort of see the ring down the bottom here and then the watch on top, these ones actually have proper resin bands and clasps on them. So I can't imagine they would be super comfortable on the finger itself unless you're a real passionate person, and I'm sure some of my friends and subscribers will challenge me to go ahead and actually wear one. But it would seem to be a really sort of uncomfortable way to wear a ring watch if it had a clasp and a buckle and a band. But what this article is indicating is that perhaps what Casio is doing here is opening up to have different applications for these nano-sized rings. What you might be able to do is actually wear it on a bag, or you might be able to wear it as an accessory on your shoe or whatever. I mean, there's a whole variety of different things. If you had a little nano-sized Casio G-Shock, you could potentially wear it as a fashion accessory on a range of different clothing items, different bags and things like that. So it's interesting that Casio is going and doing that, because this will help to give them, I think, a little bit more brand. There certainly is a lot of things that people are hanging from their bags these days. Labubus are certainly the big thing at the moment that people are going crazy over. Kind of interesting, Labubus are taking off in the US right now. They've been here in Asia for about a year already. It's almost like they're starting to become unfashionable. Maybe we're ahead of the game. But don't know, these G-Shock watches, nano watches, might be an interesting accessory that people might want to put on their bags. Certainly if I could get a hold of the red or the yellow one, maybe I'll go ahead and hang that on one of my bags as well. But I appreciate the fact that Casio is doing something a little bit different in this space. So nice move, Casio. See how it works. Second story we talked about then was MIP watches. Now this is actually very exciting. Someone has already apparently got a G-Shock GWBX5600 with memory in pixel LCD display. Now, just to make sure, in case you don't know what memory in pixel actually is, Casio talks about this. The so-called memory in pixel display is very energy efficient and is very easy to read in poor lighting conditions or strong sunlight. Unlike conventional displays, only the value that has changed is shown on the display. This reduces unnecessary energy consumption and makes the display more contrasty. I'm not sure if contrasty is quite a word, but the intention here is to be able to build a watch that utilizes less energy consumption. And of course, this is really beneficial for watches that are looking for longer battery life, less battery consumption. Maybe it's good for tough solar. I mean, tough solar works pretty well on most of my watches today. When I pick it up and put it on my wrist, it'll come up pretty much straight away. I've never really had a challenge where I felt like I've run out of power on any of my digital watches. But G-Shock and Casio pushing the technology forward to bring memory in display to some of these other watches is pretty exciting. Certainly legibility, this is always one of the things which I get cranky about when I have a watch, especially the negative display watches. Legibility is somewhat of a challenge, and so if the MIP LCD, memory in pixel LCD screens, make a watch much more legible, then it can only be a good thing. So this particular watch, and I keep saying particular watch. I've got to stop saying particular watch. I apologize for the people that caught me out on it. This watch, as you can see here, this is a GWBX5600, unreleased, but somebody has purchased it and been able to get one. The story indicates that this person was able to get it from Thailand, and Thailand is a location where a lot of G-Shock watches are manufactured. So maybe they got it from somebody internally, maybe they got it as an early release, we don't know. But they have shown that they have this watch. And if you look at the display, it really is a very, very legible display. It's a tough solar, it's got Bluetooth, If we go and have a look at the back, I've got the original Reddit here. Here's the watch that they're showing. And on the back, we can see the Bluetooth symbol. We can see the module. We can see the brand. The model GW BX5600 multi-band 6. So it's a very, very functional watch from that point of view. Multi-band 6, tough solar, Bluetooth, memory and pixel LCD display, rock solid. And it's a positive display as well. If we go back and look at the screen, it's a positive display watch from that point of view. So very exciting to see this sort of watch coming out, and hopefully comes out to market soon, because I definitely wanted to pick it up. I do like how at the top, the date and how it's displayed there. So you can see the date, the day, but then the different time zones, 2 time zones on both on the same face. So looks absolutely fantastic. There's also a full metal G-Shock coming out, also with MIP LCD displays, and so we can see that there on this particular watch. Some very cool looking ones. This dark one with the gold in there, I think just looks very, very stunning. This also came from one of the Japanese G-Shock websites. But again, memory and pixel displays. That as a memory and pixel display where it's inverted looks super cool to me. I think that's just a awesome looking color. It is interesting to see how some of the displays are different. So if you look at this one here, you've got the day at the top, you've got the year, and then you've got the actual date and the time. We go to this one, we've got the same sort of look, but we don't have the year underneath. So we've got Wednesday and a different date. I'm not sure if this one's been fabricated. It'd be interesting. And then this one has more aligned to this particular watch. I know, did it again. It's more aligned to the view of this watch, where we've got the date and the day and the 2 time zones, and then the time display, which looks very, very similar. So I don't know. I mean, some of these might be real, some of them might not be real. Who knows? We'll have to see what they look like. Certainly these pictures here then look a bit different as well to the pictures they had here. So a bit of investigative journalism. This watch, which is the full metal, the black with the gold inlet, and if we look at here, black with the gold inlet, this looks more aligned to what we saw on the other watch. So we'll have to see. It's a little bit confusing. There is some obvious excitement around memory in pixel LCD. I think the view of this watch here is more than likely a legitimate watch. Someone might have been lucky enough to be able to pick this up, maybe in Thailand. It does look legit. It doesn't look fabricated at all. Hopefully, I'd like to see a version of this in that full metal. That would be a super cool watch. The black with the gold inlet with this memory and pixel LCD would be an absolute stunner. So exciting there. I think it'd be great to sort of see these memory and pixel LCDs. Last story of the day, talking about celebrities. We always like to see people wear G-Shock watches instead of really super expensive watches. The movie that's sort of hitting the theaters at the moment, one battle after another, has a huge cast. Sean Penn, Leonardo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, lots of different stars in this particular film. Particular. I'm going to work on this. This film, lots of military, lots of revolutionaries in it. So we found during the film itself, Sean Penn, he wears a G-Shock DW6900, a watch we talked about a couple of episodes ago, a very militaristic watch which is used by a lot of Navy SEALs for its simplicity, its ease of use, all those different things. So Sean Penn is utilizing that particular watch in this movie, which is great for that whole, I'm guessing military guys aren't wearing Omega Speedmasters and Rolexes. They're wearing functional watches in the field. And so having him wear that as part of his costume design, I guess, makes a lot of sense from that point of view. What's incredible is the team take this behind the scenes shot, and from this distance they're able to pretty much call out that he's wearing a G-Shock watch, which is fascinating. His watch is this one here, they're speculating, which is the DW6900-1V. The other watch which is being worn is Benicio del Toro. Now, he's not necessarily wearing this in the actual film production itself, but he's wearing it during all of the promotional ones. And he's been wearing it on the red carpet. He's been wearing it in interviews. And the watch he's actually wearing here is a DWE 5600JB. It's a collaboration edition, as it indicates. So I've seen him wearing it here and here in the interviews. This watch is this collaboration with J Balvin, the Prince of Reggaeton. So it comes like this with the yellow band. I think the configuration that Benicio del Toro's gone with is this black one, so black on black. Again, super legible watch with the digital display. Nice to see somebody not wearing something which is just, prohibitively expensive. This watch here, $319 Sing. So, it's a watch which people can go and afford to buy from that point of view. And it's nice to see a celebrity wearing it as a personal watch as well. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for sticking with me for this episode. Really exciting news. New ring watches, memory and pixel display watches looking like they're coming around the corner, and celebrities wearing G-Shocks. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your feedback. Got to stop saying particular watch. I've heard the feedback. I'm going to get better, I promise. But thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and I hope you have a great weekend. Goodbye.